Hey there, welcome to another review, this time of the 2016 war drama, which is also based on a true story. And there are some embellishments here and there, but for the most part I heard it's pretty close. Hacksaw Ridge. Now, Hacksaw Ridge is the type of film that you have to prepare yourself for. This is the type of movie you gotta be in the right mood. You have to be really prepared to sit down and watch this film. I know it sounds like, oh, you're just, well, yeah, it's a war movie. So trust me, this is not like your John Wayne war movie. This is not like your typical war film. This film is brutal. This film is unflinching. This film is horrifying. This is one of the most horrifying films I've seen in recent memory. And it's not a horror film. It's not listed as a horror film, but in a lot of ways, I think it should be. This film shows the horror of war in such an unflinching, unrelenting fashion that it's like you're right there in the middle of the battlefield. And there's soldiers who are getting their guts spilled out right in front of you, heads blown off, arms blown off. It's intense. It is fucking intense. So now that I've said that, I just had to. Whenever I think about this movie, that's absolutely what I think of. Is just the intensity of these war scenes. They're beautifully shot, brilliantly shot, edited really well, great practical gore effects. But yeah, it's probably the closest you're gonna get to seeing the real thing, to actually being there. And it does help you appreciate all that these soldiers have went through. All the soldiers, past and present, who are still alive, who are veterans of war, and all the soldiers who have died fighting wars for our country. You can see why these soldiers have PTSD after seeing this movie, at least seeing the war scenes. This film is a tale of two halves. The battle sequences, when the battle starts, when Hacksaw Ridge starts, like when the actual battle for Hacksaw Ridge starts, the movie is fantastic. It is phenomenal. Before that, not so much. Now, Hacksaw Ridge is directed by Mel Gibson. Yes, not Mel himself. And, I personally do feel Mel deserves another chance. He fucked up. He made a mistake. It happened a long time ago. He said some shitty things. And, that wasn't cool. But, honestly, I'm willing to give it another shot. And I've already been willing to give him another shot. And if he can direct films like this, then I absolutely want to see more from him. 100%. Now, I was leery of this film from the beginning because, first off, it's a war movie. I don't like watching war movies. I don't really usually go down and sit down and watch war movies. And a lot of the reasons why is kind of what I actually saw in this. It's just, after you see a movie like this, you're just shell-shocked. You're just like, it just completely sours your mood. If you were happy beforehand, you go in to see Hacksaw Ridge and you're fucking bummed, man. You're totally bummed out. But that's the point. But, it's just, like I said, it's the type of movie you gotta prepare yourself for. And I wasn't really prepared because the only reason why I saw it is because my parents wanted to see it. And so I tagged along. And I'm glad I did, because seeing these battle scenes on the big screen was an absolutely amazing experience. And to see that in the theater. And I will never forget it. But, yeah, there were some times, though, I swear to God, I was close to walking out. And that's when the first half of the story is going on. This sappy-ass love story that is so sugary sweet, I swear it will make your teeth fall out. Because of the rot. Because of the sugar that's on the screen. It's written by Andrew Knight and Robert Shankan, and it's based on the true story of Desmond Doss, who is this soldier in World War II who, due to his faith, he's a Christian, he does not want to kill. So the whole story is he saved all these different lives and all these different soldiers without firing a single bullet, which is a great story in itself. That's interesting. That's fascinating alone. Like, how did he do that? And when that happens, when he's the medic, because he became a medic, and so when he goes in and saving people and in the middle of the battle scenes and stuff, I mean, it is captivating. Can't take your eyes off the screen. But when you have the stuff with the back at home deal and just, oh God, it's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's cringe inducing to watch. So the film stars Andrew Garfield as Desmond Doss, Vince Vaughn, who plays Sergeant Howell, who's like one of these, basically he's the drill sergeant type guy, Sam Worthington, who plays Captain Jack Glover, and probably one of the best performances from him I think I've honestly ever seen. I didn't even know it was Sam Worthington. Like, that's how good his performance was in this. After I saw I saw the end credits, I'm like, I was Sam Worthington? Wow, I'm surprised, because I didn't even know he was even capable of performances like this. Luke Bracey as Smitty, Hugo Weaving as Tom Doss, Desmond's father. It was interesting to see Hugo Weaving in something like this, where he's not really a villain. He's playing an American. Okay, interesting. All right. Ryan Corr as Lieutenant Manville. Teresa Palmer as Dorothy Shute, Doss's wife. She's nice to look at. She's pretty, but I can't stand the scenes that she has with Andrew Garfield. They're just so bad. They're so fucking schmaltzy. It hurts. It hurts to watch. That's when I was ready to leave. It was like something straight out of a romance novel. It was so bad. It was so fucking awful. Rachel Griffiths plays Doss's mother, Bertha. And there's a few other people here and there in the cast, but, there's nobody really big. For the most part, the main stars, the big stars, are Andrew Garfield, Vince Vaughn, and Sam Worthington, and Hugo Weaving. Now, the movie features a score by Rupert Gregson Williams that actually, there were a few pieces of it that I thought were actually memorable. Holy shit, actually memorable, and I actually liked. So the score complemented the film well, and I thought worked. Cinematography by Simon Duggan, especially in the war scenes, top notch. The editing, top notch, top of the line, superior quality in the war sequences. Now, the movie has a running time of 139 minutes, and I think like the whole last 40-50 minutes is the battle stuff, if I remember correctly, or it's like the last hour or so. Because the first hour or something is just I know it's character development, but it's boring. It's boring. It's boring character development interspersed with really hard to watch lovey-dovey scenes. And then they get to the war scenes, and like I said, it's fucking intense. I mean, the sound design was off the charts. The guns going off, and explosions. It was like you were put right there. It dropped right in the middle of the battlefield while it was going on, like live and in your face. Now, I know some critics have made complaints about the way that the enemy was portrayed, that it was kind of a faceless. That's the point. It's not trying to give you a look at, the inner workings of the Japanese or all of this. It's trying to have you experience what it was like to be a soldier in the middle of that war in the middle of that battle for Hacksaw Ridge. There's no explanations, no backstory. None of these soldiers knew any backstory about these Asians, about these Japanese soldiers that were trying to kill them. All they knew is that they were trying to kill them. These were enemies. It's kill or be killed. That's all they knew. Kill or be killed. Either we kill them or they kill us. They're the enemy. So I was fine with that. Would have slowed the film down if they tried to do that. That's not the point of the film. The main point of the movie was actually trying to show you the heroic efforts of Desmond Doss. And when that stuff happens, I mean, it's captivating to see Andrew Garfield rescue one soldier after another. The other soldiers, they leave the ridge, they retreat, but he stays behind. And he goes in and risks life and limb and goes in and takes these soldiers and he puts a rope around his waist, and I think it's either he puts a rope around his waist or he puts a rope around their waist, and he pretty much lowers them down. He lowers down hundreds of soldiers off the ridge, hundreds of wounded soldiers. It's an impressive feat, and it's really well shot and really well directed in those scenes. I mean, the battle scenes, Mel Gibson, I got to give him a round of applause. I mean, absolutely, round of applause for his directing in these battle sequences. It's unreal. It was that good. And he's always been a good director. He always knows how to, get the most out of his visuals and stuff like that. And he definitely does here. It's bloody, it's gory, but that's war. A friend of mine, he made a great point, and I'm going to quote him here when he talks about when I was asking him about war films and how I'm glad that this movie didn't hold back. They didn't play around with kid gloves. And my friend Matt, he had a very eloquent point here. He said, war is hell, not heck. That's true. It's not heck. It's hell. It's fucking hell on earth. And Hacksaw Ridge shows you that hell in every gory, bloody detail. Entrails on the ground, just strewn everywhere. Arms and limbs blown off. Just your buddy next to you just gets his head exploded. I mean, this makes Saving Private Ryan scene look like child's play to me. I mean, Saving Private Ryan is intense and it's crazy, the sequence in the beginning, but I mean, this is just one unending stream of blood, guts, and violence and bullets and just chaos. Hellish chaos. And hell. And I was also surprised by how much the film did not preach at you. See, he's a Christian. And there's this whole sort of thing where he doesn't want to carry a rifle. He doesn't want to shoot a gun because, he's a Christian. And he doesn't want to, thou shalt not kill. And, of course, the backstory happened. He almost killed his brother because they got in a fight. And he hit him in the face with a brick when they were kids. And so he doesn't want to kill anybody. And then there was the whole stuff with his father who was abusing his mother. And he actually pointed a gun at him. And he almost shot his dad. So he does not want to kill. He does not want to use a gun. He does not want to do it. And so eventually there's this whole thing of getting thrown out for, not using a gun for his beliefs. There were other people in the platoon that were going to beat him up, and they did beat him up. They beat him up for his beliefs and because him not wanting to do the gun training then punished everyone else in the platoon. So it's that sort of thing where, one person fucks up, then everybody fucks up. And so they were out for his blood. They were trying to get rid of him, but he kept coming. He didn't give up. He took the hits and he kept coming. And, he made an absolutely selfless sacrifice for all these hundreds of soldiers that he barely even knew. And he did it without a gun, without firing a single bullet. I mean, that is an amazing story. That's a true American hero. Desmond Doss. And Andrew Garfield did a absolutely bang up job bringing that character to life. Wow, Andrew Garfield delivering a really good performance here. And I think he's starting to really get up there in terms of, his acting talent and his, string of performances. I actually liked him as Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man films. So I never had a problem with him in those movies. But nowadays, with films like this, and I've heard good things about Silence by Martin Scorsese, he's really showing some clout here. And that's good. It's good for him. And what do I mean? Going back to the whole not preaching preaching too much. It's not shoving the Bible down your throat. I didn't feel that way. It's not like a war film made by Pure Flix. That's not what it is. So I was worried that it was going to do that. It didn't do that. And I was really thankful for that. But overall, I liked the film. I liked the movie, but it's a tale of two halves. First half that kind of sucks. I don't really care about. It's boring, and it has really cringy love scenes. Then the war, which is I'm just absolutely flabbergasted by how just jaw-droppingly brutal and realistic that entire sequence is. And I mean, that alone is one of the main reasons why I like the movies, because this is some of the best war scenes I've ever seen on film. Period. Definitely some of the most effective. So yeah, I really don't know what else to say about Hacksaw Ridge, except if I was going to rate it out of 5 stars, I would give it 3.5 out of 5. It's an above average film for me because of the war scenes are great, though, and the direction is good, and there's some good performances, and the score actually is not actually pretty good. I actually liked it. It's just the first half is slow and boring, and there are a few moments that are there. I mean, I like the stuff with Vince Vaughn and so on, but it's kind of it's hard to sit through. That's the moment where I literally was thinking about walking out, and I think I did. I walked out during like a lovey-dovey scene, and I went in and used the restroom, and then I was thinking about maybe I shouldn't come back, because I don't know, maybe this just isn't for me. And then but I did. I went back. I'm glad I did, because I absolutely, I would have been hitting myself if I missed seeing those battle scenes, seeing the war scenes, the battle for Hacksaw Ridge. If I missed seeing that on the big screen, I would have smacked myself in the head hard. But anyway, yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would actually. But you need to prepare yourself for it. Prepare yourself for the cringy lovey-dovey scenes and the boring first half. But really, honestly, what you need to prepare yourself is the war scenes. Prepare to be absolutely flabbergasted, blown away, and just to have your bones and your soul rattled to your core. Rattled completely to your core. Prepare yourself for that. Once you do that, I think you can get something out of the film at least. But anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you guys later. See ya.